Hello, hello. It's this week. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be a shorter show. My co-host had a meeting he had to go to tonight at his work. So and we're gonna keep this half hour, probably a little less. Um, of course, if we get some comments on the show or in the comment center, I would be, of course, answering questions, answering your statements, and also, if you want to keep us hopping, get yourself a Human Lives Matter t-shirt. As you can see, I got Mindy Robinson showing it off. And of course, she's always too happy to help a fellow patriot who likes to fight the government and yell at them. That's probably why we get along so well, because we both like to yell at our government. And who knows what we'd be like if me and her actually went to the government together. They would probably throw us out. um, but anyway, I also want to say this Friday night, 8 p.m. Pennsylvania time, we actually going I've actually been talking to a First Amendment auditor in California. Um, well, probably 8 p.m. their time, I would say. So it will probably be about 11 Pennsylvania time, but I'm still willing to do it with them because I really wanted to um, do what you call it, an audit. I mean, a podcast with this person. Um, this person is my comic relief when I definitely, look at all the seriousness of the news and how ignorant people are to our Constitution, and how many people would say that's constitutional. It's not constitutional, but no one can ever quote the amendment. Ever. The only political party that actually quotes the Constitution doesn't just spew that's unconstitutional, that's constitutional, is the Constitution Party. They'll tell you if the government is in a violation of a specific um, amendment. That's why I joined the party, because they also hold themselves to the Constitution in and outside the office positions. They believe that if you do it at all times, you will, you'll have the right exercise for when you are in office. So if I held myself to so if I was going to run for mayor in Allentown, I would want to be held accountable to the Constitution. And I may slip up. I may say, oh, you can't say that. But if you say, oh, well, that's my First Amendment rights, and then I'll be like, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's what the Constitution is for. It's because our founding fathers know that our people are not perfect 100% of the time. Now, because we may make the mistake of saying, you can't do this and that. And they may go against your basic human rights. Even John Adams actually jailed a journalist for writing a bad piece about him. So the guy who helped create the First Amendment violated the First Amendment. That's how badly we need to hold our government accountable. And we, the people, are not doing a good job of it. People are dying because we're allowing the millions of people coming crossing our borders who are criminals. And then they go raping and killing many Americans. And what would it take for you to step up as a human being? Does your wife have to be murdered by one? Your daughters? Your sisters? Maybe you have a brother, a father, or a son in a police force who may be shot or beaten up by an illegal? What would it take for you to start fighting for your loved ones? When one dies? I'm telling you that we need to start uniting, not based on biblical principles, but by the constitutional principles. Not everyone is a Christian like me. Not everyone is a Catholic. Not everyone is an atheist. But we gotta live in this country together. And we live in the only country in the world where you can practice what you believe in public. Not just in your private homes or your private properties, but in public. Now, as far as this country goes, we have a constitution written because they are basic human rights. And abortion, yes, YouTube, I said abortion. You better give me a strike. But abortion is not in there. And it's not healthcare. The government spends a mother's death on pregnancy when it could be something else. And why would I listen to the government about anything? We know we don't trust them. Do you trust them? I don't. And let me tell you though, you know what it took for me to get involved? Seeing how the churches are corrupted, as well as our government. It's all corrupted. That's why, when I'm as an American, I'm going to defend your rights to believe whatever you want. But as a citizen of heaven, I'm going to speak the truths, the very truth that you would all crucify Jesus for. That's right. It was the religious people that begged the Roman Empire to crucify Jesus. And I'm going to defend what he says, because Jesus didn't just, command it. He lived it out. And Jesus commands us to imitate it. You know, Jesus is so worth follow. Jesus is such a worthy person that he is worth imitating. The Apostle Paul even said, imitate me as I imitate Christ. The Apostle Paul was definitely worth following. You'll say, oh, I'm not Jesus. Okay, the Apostle Paul. Okay, well, I'm not the Apostle Paul. So are you even a Christian? That's my question. Are you even a Christian if you're not following their example? If you're not imitating them? So, like I said, as an American, I would defend to my death your right to believe and to practice what you believe is the truth. But I am not gonna, but as a citizen of heaven, I'm gonna speak biblical truth. And many people, nearly the whole entire earth, does not like the actual preaching from the scriptures. I have friends who are street preachers. They and people will tell them, "Oh, I'm a Christian." Well, guess what? Their fruits doesn't show it. They get out getting drunk, they're smoking, they're drinking. Well, I'm not gonna judge drinking alcohol, but if you're drinking to the point of drunkenness, that's when I will definitely judge sin. Fornication, you know, these are the things like, and I'm sorry, I was gonna post it all tonight, but Womble was giving me problems. But then I found out I had to update my PC, so I can't show the scriptures this week, but maybe next week. But I will say this: it is easy to not sin if you have a desire for Christ. Because the Apostle Paul acknowledges in this letter saying saints. He refers them as saints, not I sinners saved by grace. No, that's not how he starts out his letters or how he acknowledges believers, disciples, Christians. But overall, I will say this. If we're not taking action now, to save this country, the constitutional republic that we come to love so much, when are you going to do it? When they take away our guns? When they take away our freedoms of speech, religion, press? So the press has to say the government is perfect in every way, even though we know they're not, because they want to be God. Are you going to take action now so your kids can enjoy the future? It's your kids that's going to pay for your slack, for your slacking. Your kids are going to be ones to pay the price. And I'm sorry to say, but You know where I'm at today? If I could go back to 1935, I would be asking the people, why did they ever allow Social Security? Why did they not fight against government taxation, a new tax? Why am I paying for them? You know, why? And I want to ask people in the 70s and 80s, why did they not fight against the so-called vaccines that I've learned of Mindy Robinson's documentary, which all her documentaries are always worth a watch. She puts a lot of details into her documentaries. I get to learn a lot more than I ever thought because of her. And she's like one of the few great patriots that I love. Mm. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all something to think about this week. And I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared, but like I said, I had issues with my internet until I found out I had to update my computer for it to work. But but do join me on Friday. It will be around 8 California time, which means 11 Pennsylvania time on Friday for a First Amendment auditor as a guest. And I will see you, hopefully, with my co host next week. Bye.